everyone. This week we are going to be drawing a sea turtle. We've already talked about some facts about sea turtles and we looked at the anatomy of them, and now we're going to draw them. So to start, usually we have our papers horizontal. This week I want your paper vertical. It's going to be easier to draw your sea turtle this way. You can do it horizontal, but it will be a little bit smaller. So to start with, vertical paper, and we're going to build our sea turtle step by step. And we're going to start with the shell. And the shell is going to be what looks like an upside down rounded triangle. Kind of like if you've ever seen a guitar pick, kind of that similar shape. So you want it to be pretty big, but not so big it's touching the edge of your paper. So I'm going to start with the top. I'll bring it down. And again, I'm making a rounded triangle. Now, don't be afraid if you make a mistake, you can erase. Mistakes happen. It's proof we're trying our best. And that's why I use a pencil, so I would recommend having something that you can erase with. All right. So after this, now we're going to draw the head. And the head is going to be a similar shape, that rounded triangle. So up here, we're going to draw the head. So again, the flat side of your triangle is going to be right here. I'm going to make it about this wide. I'm going to draw that rounded triangle. And if you want to make it a little bit rounder, you can on the bottom. Here we go. So now we're going to move on to the flippers and the legs of our sea turtle. So when you look at a sea turtle's legs, or its flipper, here's my little buddy, you can see that it's kind of like a boomerang shape. It kind of hooks down and around. So when you draw this, I want you to draw it by drawing that hooked line that comes up and down. So I always like to draw some dots where I'm going to end. So right here, I'm going to draw some marks, and I'm going to draw that rounded triangle shape again out to that point. So watch. Rounded triangle, not pointy. Rounded triangle out to the point. That's the beginning of our flippers. Then I'm going to loop around. This is where it looks like a boomerang. And I'm going to bring it up. I'm doing both at the same time. And then down. You might notice mine aren't the same size. I'm okay with that. I can erase it later. So there we have our flippers. Now we're going to do the bottom two fins flippers of our turtles. So again, you're going to come down here, not on the bottom, but right here. If you think of this as in thirds, 1, 2, and then you split it into 3 sections, it's about 1/3 of the way down, 2/3 down. And I want you to draw, again, that rounded triangle on the back. There we go. And then, easy peasy, add a little triangular tail out of that cute turtle tail. Here's this guy's. All right, now we're going to go to the shell. So I want you to draw an inside rounded triangle just like the first one, just a little bit smaller. This is making an outside perimeter around the shell. Good. And now we're going to start probably the hardest part of the whole turtle, and it's drawing that hexagram design on the turtle's back. So when you think of a hexagram, it is a 6-sided shape. It's like multiple sets of parallel lines. So when you look, you have 1 set of parallel lines, 2, 3. So 3 sets of parallel lines. So in the middle of your shell, I want you to draw 2 parallel lines, horizontal, and then I want you to draw a point with a V shape on the outside, and that is a hexagon. Super simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides, hexagon. So now we're going to use this to build the rest of the hexagons for the turtle shell. So right here on the bottom 2 corners, draw 2 more diagonal lines. Draw a point. Draw 2 more diagonal lines going down. Draw a horizontal line. There's your second hexagon. And then if you have room, I want you to draw 1 more. 2 diagonal lines, point, 2 diagonal lines going down, straight line. If you have room, you could do 1 more up here. I'll do 1 more. 2 diagonal lines going up, 2 diagonal lines, straight line. All right. Now to finish the shell. Once you have all your hexagons lined up, super simple, on every corner, we're going to draw some straight lines. Now I'm going to bump down to the second hexagon, straight line, straight line, straight line, and then on the bottom 2, diagonal. And we just created a hexagonal shaped turtle shell with the pattern. All right, now to finish. Up here, if you draw 2 ovals on the side of the turtle's head, those are your eyes. And then you can add your pattern of circles within the fins. So you just kind of draw some organic shapes with circular shapes, and you fill in the fins and flipper. And you can see it on this example of my little stuffed friend, what it looks like. So go ahead and fill all those in. Doesn't have to be perfect, because remember, we're doing an animal. Just like humans, animals have all different imperfections, different designs, different patterns, different color patterns. So it's all right if our turtles all look a little different. And you can also add some spots to the head. You can color in the eyes. And to finish, if you have time, you can add patterns inside the shell. We can add color, we could add a background, we could draw more turtles. So there's a ton of options with what we can do. So hopefully you have a pretty awesome sea turtle, and now we can finish it.